The lesson for this afternoon is just very easy. I want you to, if your name is called, and of course, you have to show your or you write your solution. You need, if the problem requires solution, then please prepare paper and pen so that later on, if your name is called, then you can you can participate. Presentation. Only few are attending online classes, and same students. I think there are really students here who are zero submission. The only the only what's this? The only output is the midterm exam. So there's nothing that I can do. I cannot wait until forever. Just and remember, class, you are already grade 11, and do not wait that we'll be calling your parents one by one, because this is not anymore. Even if you were in junior high school, you enrolled because you want to learn. It's not about earning grades. It's about learning. And you will not learn if you will depend on the reminders from time to time from your teachers to your parents for a while. Can you hear me?
Yes po, sir.
Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start. Our lesson is about series, and it has something to do with sequence. And you have idea or were you able to encounter about series when you were in junior high school? Meron ba tayong idea about sa lesson na ito? Series or sequence.
Yes.
Okay, sige. So I think this will be more easier because you have already the idea about the lesson. Okay. Pardon me if later on magkakaroon ng hang kasi kanina nakihang lang ang ating presentation. Start pa lang hang na. By the way, when would be your schedule in getting your, what's this, card?
Tomorrow, sir.
Is it tomorrow na?
Yes po, sir. Sabi ni ma'am kanina po.
Okay. And were you informed about initial announcement about your grades or no idea yet?
No idea
Wala
yet
pa pong
po,
idea,
sir.
sir.
So, surprise na lang tayo bukas if ever man. I think tomorrow is for, please clarify that to your advisor. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please clarify that to your advisor about your schedule because bakit tomorrow? Bakit nag-change ng schedule si ma'am? Sigurado bang bukas talaga or Friday pa?
Sir?
Yes?
November 10 and November 11 po sabi sa amin.
November 10 to November 11. I don't know if 10 is for junior high school and 11 is for senior high school. Please clarify that to your advisor so that your parents would not be coming here in school tomorrow if hindi pala bukas, ha? Please clarify lang. I'm not sure with the schedule. Clarify lang. Okay. Let's start. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Nakikita ulit? Sige. A sequence is a succession of numbers in a specific order. Each number is in a sequence is called a term. So here in this lesson, you must look for pattern. Look for pattern in order for you to write the next terms. And patterns would be based from the given terms. The problem. The terms are formed according to some fixed rule or property. It should be fixed. So whatever the pattern should be true to all terms from the given. They are arranged as the first term, the second term, the third term, and so on. A sequence with a definite number of terms is a finite sequence. If you want to pronounce it as finite, then that is okay. Infinite sequences, the first and the last terms are clearly identified. Meaning to say, the number of terms is really identified. Malalaman kung ilang terms lang meron sa sequence na yan. That is finite. And, of course, the first and the last terms are identified. Example. On the leftmost or the left column, we have here an example of a sequence. Then first, if you're going to, the first term is 10, the last term is 2. 8, 6, and 4 are the terms between 10 and 2. The number of terms rather is the number of terms. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number of terms is 5. For second example, as you notice, there are 3 dots. Batawag dyan, ellipsis ba yan? Meaning to say, there are terms in between these numbers. So yung dot would determine that there are terms in between those numbers. Again. If hindi nyo ako marinig, please tell me para mabalik kung kailangan ibalik ang discussion. Let's just wait for this to na naman siya. Just wait na mabalik PowerPoint. Pero nakikita pa ang screen ko or hindi na din?
nakikita pa po.
Nakikita. Naka-freeze lang. I don't know what happened to Lenovo, itong laptop, kasi I don't know kung nag-update ba to, automatic update. Same with dito sa ibang teachers, nag-hang. Ay, okay, so in our second example, the first term is negative 2x and the last term is 12. And there are three dots in between the terms. So meaning to say there are terms in between negative 8x cubed and negative 2048 x raised to 11 power. The third example, the first term is 1. The last term is 1 over 4 raised to the 6th power. And the number of terms is 7. So if it is finite or finite, then we have to or the first and the last terms are identified, and there is a fixed number of terms. Alam natin kung ilang terms meron. The first and the last terms of a sequence are referred to as extremes. The terms between the first and the last terms are called means. Para siyang ratio and proportion. The first and the last would be the extremes, and those terms in between are the means. I'm talking about dun sa, sa terms lang ng ratio and proportion dito sa means and extreme, but it has nothing to do with ratio and proportion for now. Okay, so I think first and the last term. Okay. Makinig lang ha. Just listen. A sequence with no definite number of terms. So wala siyang particular number of terms is an infinite sequence. Infinite. Okay. Can you see me, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Tingnan nyo na lang ang board para hindi masayang oras natin. So again, a sequence with no definite number of terms is an infinite sequence. An example of this, -9, -2, 5, 12, 19, and so on. You will know that it is infinite if there are 3 dots after the terms, meaning to say there are more terms after the last number, yung nakasulat na number. Another 127, 9, 3, 1, 1/2, 1/9, so on. Then it could also be the terms that are not shown are before, what's this? Before the visible term. So we have negative 64, negative 49, negative 36, negative 25, negative 16. So meaning to say, you need to find out what are the terms before negative 64. Up to whatever the instruction by the teacher kung ano yung kukunin natin. So pabaliktad yung pagkuha natin ng terms. So those are examples of infinite with no particular number of terms or with no definite number of terms. Did you understand? Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, wait na ba ang ating... Okay. Nakikita pa rin ba ang aking screen?
Yes po.
Oh, hindi na naman siya nag-move. Sa ulo itong... Balik tayo dito sa ating board. Okay, now, I will give you the first terms, and you are going to find the next three terms. Kindly write if you have your, what's this? Ball pens and paper. Find the next three terms. We have 27, 19, and 11. What are the next three terms? So we will solve this together muna, yung first example. First, before we're going to write or decide what would be our answers, then we are going to look for patterns. And the pattern should be true to all of the terms. So 27 and 19, the number is decreasing. So meaning to say, you're going to subtract. And what number that if we're going to subtract from 27, that would give us 19?
Negative 8 po. Ay, 8.
Okay, we're going to subtract by 8. And if we're going to use addition, then we're going to add negative 8. But it would be easier to understand if we are going to use subtraction. Meaning to say, bawasan ng 8 ang 27. Now, are we sure that 8 should be the number that we're going to subtract to get the pattern? Or the pattern should be minus 8 every next term. Then we will check that to our second term, 19. So 19 minus 8 would give us also 11. So we need to say it is true that it should be minus 8. So therefore, the next term would be, this would be
3.
3. Then this would be
Negative 5.
negative 5 and
Negative 13.
negative 13. Okay, very easy. Did you understand? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, tingnan natin kung pabalik na ba ang ating dito na yung sinabi ko kanina. Okay. 17, 11, and the answer 3, negative 5, negative 13. I'll give you this. 1 minute. Find the next three terms. The first three terms are 0.5, 5.0, and 50.0. What would be the next three terms? 1 minute. Volunteer, what would be the next three terms? Who wants to answer the next three terms? Anybody?
Sir,
Name, yung unang nagsabi ng sir? Family name?
Tebeng po, sir.
Tebeng. Okay, Tebeng. What are the next three terms?
500.0, tapos 5,000.0 and 50,000.0 po.
Okay. 500.0 or 500, 5,000.0 or 5,000, and 50,000.0 or 50,000. Is that your final answer?
Yes, yes po.
What is the pattern?
Multiply it by 10 po, sir.
Okay, multiply by 10. Let's check if your answer is correct. So, nawala na ang ating presentation. Okay. The answer is 500, 5,000, and 50,000, meaning to say that is correct. And we're going to multiply each of the term by 10 in order for you to get the next term. We are now in number 3. Okay, we are now in number 3. The given, -1, 4, -9, 16. 1 minute. 1 minute. Volunteer. Volunteer. -1, 4, 9, 16. Wala?
Arion, sir.
Marion. Marion, family name? Carion, sorry. Carion.
Arion po.
Yes.
-25, 36, and -49 po.
Again, negative.
-25, 36, and -49 po.
Okay. How did you get the next three terms? Paano natin nakuha ang terms na yan? What did you do? What did you do?
Find the square root po, sir.
Is it the square root? I know that you know the what you're doing, but careful with the term. Square root ba ang hinahanap natin, or I think the opposite of square root? You're going to okay, bakit siya 25? Bakit siya naging 25? Anong ginawa sa number?
Sir?
Caryon?
Sir?
Si Caryon muna, ha? Bakit yun, Caryon? Kailangan ba ang root? Or ang opposite nun? Who can answer, by the way? Ano ang ginawa? Bakit siya naging 25?
Sir, acid po.
Acid. Sige, acid.
We use perfect square or squaring the number, sir.
Okay, so we're going to square the number. So in the first term, that is 1 square, so 1. Then for 4, that is 2 square, would give us 4. Then next, 3 square, that would give us 9. And 4 square would give us 16. For now, do not consider yet this sign. Look at first the number, the pattern of the number. Next, that is why the next is 5 square, naging 25. Yung answer ni Carion. Then 6 square, 36. Then 7 square is 49. It's not square root, but you are going to square the number. Because when we say square root, pabaliktad. 40 square root of 49, 7. Square root of 36, 6. Kasi dito, yun at square of 7, square of 6. But anyway, Carion, I'm going to consider your answer because that is correct. And aside from that, you have to consider, first, you have to consider the squaring of the numbers. Then, you have to alternate the sign. Kasi from negative, then positive, negative, positive. That is why after 16 will give us negative. Then after 25, we'll have the positive. Then after 36, then that is negative 49. So the answer would be, wala na ang answer. Ang hirap mag-online selling pag ganito ang ating laptop. Kihang. So the answer would be, I don't know if nakikita. Okay, the answer would be negative 25, 36, and negative 49. So far, recitation, we have Tebeng, Carion, and Acid. Okay, this time we have functional relation given S of n is equal to 3n minus 2. By the way, class, you can use here any variable. You can use x, so it could be S of x, then is equal to 3x minus 2. Pwede. It's not always n, ha? S of n is equal to 3n minus 2, where n is a natural number to write an infinite sequence. So we will just assign here from 1 to 4. When n is equal to 1 to 4. So we'll have here the first example. If n is 1, that would be S of 1. Just substitute n by 1. So that would become 3 times 1 minus 2. And 3 times 1 is 3. Then 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. Meaning to say, S of 1 is equal to 1. I'll give you 2 minutes. Solve for n is equal to 2, 3, and 4. 2 minutes. I also noticed, so while you are solving, I also noticed that some of you, maraming recitation, but walang submission. I don't know what happened. Nag-recite, pero wala namang submission. And if your grade is, of course, you could have a grade of 60 if wala talaga kayong submission. But since meron naman kayong midterm exam. So I think the lowest grade, the lowest possible grade with midterm exam could be 65 or 66. At kung nag-recite kayo ng 3 beses, so 65 plus 3, that could mean 68 only. So hindi pa rin papasa. So better submit and recite. Talagang hindi kayo mag-recite, at least submit your module. 1 minute more. Okay, volunteer for n is equal to 2. N is equal to 2. Can give me the answer? Sino yan?
Pinyaza.
Minyoza. Okay, Gam? Minyoza.
So, if n is equals to 2, then let's substitute. So okay, so 3, and then substitute the n to 2, minus 2, so is equals to 6 minus 2, so we have 4.
Okay, the answer is
The final answer is 4.
4. Okay, let's check if that is 4. Okay, very good. The answer is 4. Next, if n is equal to 3. N is equal to 3.
Yes, sir.
Family name?
Dubai, sir.
Okay, Zubay. Zubay, before you're going to give me your answer, I know that alam mo kung what's this? Alam kong alam mo yung lesson, alam ko kung paano mo siya isolve, but please be careful in writing your solutions, ha? You have to write your solutions clearly. I know you can kahit i-perfect mo pa ang mga problems, kaya mo yun, but you have to write it clearly, especially the graphing. Do not do it hurriedly, ha? Sige, go on.
Yes, sir. So for any
Nawala ka, Jubay.
sorry, sir. For s equals 3, we substitute n with 3. So 3 times 3 minus 2 is equal to 6 minus 2. I mean, yes. 3 times 3 minus 2 is equal to 9 minus 2 is equal to 7. So
So
the
the answer-
final answer is 7 for the third
let's-
term.
Okay, let's check. If n is 3, then the answer is 7. Okay, very good. Next, n is equal to 4.
Sir.
Family name?
Suryaga.
Again?
Suryaga, sir.
Suryaga. Suryaga,
Yes.
okay. Suryaga
Ah.
is S gang, no? S, Suryaga?
Yes. Yes po.
Sige, Gab.
If n is equals to 4, then we will substitute the value of n in the equation 3n minus 2. And then it will become 3 times 4 minus 2. And then multiply 3 times 4, which is 12, minus 2. Then the final answer will be 10.
Okay, 10. Let's check if it is 10. Very good. So we have here, the sequence is 1, 4, 7, and 10, and so on. If you would be asked for the next terms, then even without solving the substitution, then find the value by just looking at the first 4 terms, you can see the pattern already that you would be adding 3. So without solving, you can determine that the next term would be 13, 16, 19, and so on. Questions so far? Okay, wala. Very good, Suryaga. Next, given here the numbers or the possible values of n, which is from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Write the first 5 terms of the sequence defined by S of n is equal to n squared minus 1 over n. I'll give you another 2 minutes. Find the values of S of n given that n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go. 2 minutes. Recap doon sa ating recitation while you're answering para ma-check ko kung lahat na isulat dito. Tebeng, Carrion, Acid, Minyoza, Jubay, and Suryaga. Two minutes. For those who are fond of submitting, what's this? Empty file, I would not buy that technique of submitting your outputs thinking that I would not be reading your assignment. You might think that I'm just checking your accounts and just check if may na-turn in doon. Then I would record. If you notice, even if it is late, I really check and read and check your what's this, your solutions. And I would be banking really on solutions that are neatly, clearly done. One minute more. Most of the, what's this? Most of the minus points in our last lessons were from the graphing. Hindi ko alam, may what's this? Hyperbola na paloob, nag-meet ang dalawang arrows. Meron ding ellipse na naging diamond. Hindi naman tinuro na naging diamond ang ellipse. So yun. Narinig pa rin ako?
Yes, sir.
What would be the value of S of n when n is equal to 1? Can give us the answer. Volunteer?
Hello, sir.
Yes, you are.
Paraguya po.
Paraguya. Yes, Paraguya.
If n is equals to 1 po, ma'am. Sir.
Yes.
Okay. So, 1 substitute n by 1. So, S of n is equals to n raised to the power of 2, which is just 1, minus 1 over 1, which is just 1. So, 1 minus 1 is 0. So, n S of 1 is equals to 0.
Okay, very good. The answer is 0. Okay. Paraguya, I want you to have consistency with your, what's this, output. May times na matataas ang score mo, and may times din na hindi naman siya mababa, pero it's not, ano ba, may times na mataas talaga, then minsan, hindi siya ganun kataas. So I want you to be consistent because I know that you are really good. Nakita ko paano ka nag-solve dun sa face-to-face. Together with Suryaga. Suryaga was also good. I cannot tell to everyone ha, kasi hindi ko lahat talaga kilala. I'll be doon lang sa matandaan ko based doon sa solution ninyo, pati doon sa nagkita tayo face-to-face. But I know generally this group is very good. So yun, kung ma-remember ko yung mga outputs niyo pati paano tayo sa face-to-face, then magbigay ako ng comment para at least magkabigay ako ng reminders. So yun, for Paraguya, you have to be consistent. I know you are good. Next, okay, nabigay ko ng answer. So n is equal to 2, the answer is 7 over 2. Okay, how about if n is equal to 3? What would be the answer? N is equal to 3. Volunteer.
Asa Ali po, sir.
Asa Ali.
So we need to substitute the value of n to 3. So it will become S of 3 is equals to 3 squared, which is 9. Then 9 minus 1 over 3 is equivalent of 26 over 3.
Let's check 26 over 3. Very good. Asa Ali. Next, n is equal to 4.
Bukoy po,
And
sir.
Fukoy.
So if n is equals to 4, we have to substitute. So s of 4 is equals to 4 raised to the power of 2. Gonna subtract to 1/4, and it's gonna be equals to 16. Then subtract it to 1/4, then is equals to 63 over 4.
63 over 4. Let's check. Okay, 63. Gang, did you receive the ano? Meron ka bang, nag-comment na ba ako sa lesson 5 mo? Wala pa.
Yes po, nag-resend na po ako, sir.
Okay, please, can you find a way how to submit your output na hindi masyadong mahirap? Ikaw ba yung hinahanap pa doon sa ibang magpupunta pa ako sa online, sa ibang site para makita? Ikaw ba 'yon?
I don't know po, sir, pero Word file po pinapas ko. Pero
Okay. Sige. Basta find ways na medyo easy lang sa akin ang pag-check ha? Kasi may mga, I don't know if it's you. Sorry kung hindi ikaw ha. This is reminder to everyone that please submit doon lang na as I click your output, ma-check ko na kaagad. Kasi minsan, may mga outputs na nahirapan akong i-check kasi pag i-click ko siya, hindi siya ma-open. Kailangan pang pupunta ako sa ibang site para ma-open siya. And sometimes, hindi siya readable. So kaya, binabalik ko na wala siyang score. Except doon talaga sa empty na file. So please, find ways to na easy lang ang pag-submit. Huwag nang pahirapan ang sarili pati ang teacher. Okay, next. N is equal to 5. Volunteer.
Nadine, sir. Sir, Nadine.
Again, sino yon?
Nadine, sir.
Na
Nadine po.
family name.
Nadine, sir.
Nudin?
Yes po.
Nudin. Nuddin.
Yes, sir.
Say, what would be the answer?
If the value of n is 5, substitute 5 squared minus 1 over 5. So 5 squared is equals to 25. So 25 minus 1 over 5 is equals to 124 over 5.
124 over 5. Okay, very good. Questions so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning walang tanong. So here, I think very, very much easy compared doon sa ating conic section. Just look for patterns, then for clues, then after that you can find the answer. We'll have the continuation of this tomorrow. By the way, recap for those who recited this afternoon: Tebeng, Carion, Acid, Minyoza, Jubay, Suriaga, Paraguya, Asaani, Bukoy, and Nudin. Did I miss